podcast. We're here another Thursday, 10 a.m. Central. We have a phone number, 214-377-1108, 214-377-1108. If you want to call in, we have an open line. If you want to send an email, send it to podcast@compoundstockearnings.com, and we will address it on this show today. And if we don't get it, we get it late, then we'll do it next weekend. But in the meantime, we'll answer it anyhow. Randy's not going to be able to be here today. His mom passed away yesterday. She'd been in the hospital sick for some time, so he's not going to be here today. Keith's here with us. Cezanne and Joni are here. Dirk Marcus is not available today. And, of course, we have John up in Chicago. And then I'm down here in Puerto Rico. And any moment, the leaf blower could start up, but it sounds like maybe it's not going to happen. If it starts up, then I think Keith's going to take over the show here for a little while. Joni, how long before Cezanne gets it? I got a good story for y'all.
She just sent me a text. You know, she is picking up her girls. And so let me see what she says real quick. Her hotel internet just went down, and so she's working on getting back up. So she'll be here any second. Any second? Any second.
Okay, I'll hold off telling my story.
Don't tell the story. She'll be here in a second.
Good story. A couple of things. I do want a surprising announcement. I was reading today that an extremely long tapeworm has invaded France from Asia, and it's got a head like a snake, but it's a tapeworm. And so if you were planning on going over to France anytime soon, you might kind of take that in mind. Also, and Cezanne and Joni know this, I reminded them of it yesterday, but they already knew it. For the very first time in 226 years, the president of the New York Stock Exchange is a woman named Stacey Cunningham. She went to work for him, I think in 67. No, I'm sorry, in 94. And she's now president. And the other interesting thing is the president of the NASDAQ, she just became president, is also Dina Friedman. And she's the president of the NASDAQ. So I don't know what exactly this means for the market. But when you have women presidents of both the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ, it's got to mean something. And hopefully it's good. So I thought that was really interesting. I've got an interesting thing for the Cow Report, the editorial this weekend, dealing with compounding and power of compounding. And any of our techniques this would be appropriate for. The specific one I'm going to be mentioning, the numbers and everything, deals with Cezanne and Joni's, what do I call that thing? What is it? I forgot the name of it. Y'all's technique?
I'm on mute. It's micro
moment trading.
So you can't keep the name and not remember it.
Micro moment trading. And the whole point of this is I had a huge response from the last week's editorial where people wanted some more specifics on specifically compounding and how easily it can work. So I took 3 examples and I reduced the return to 1%. Obviously, y'all make more than that. 1 trade a week at 1%. There's Cezanne. 1 trade a week at 1%, and explained how y'all would put that out. Keith would do the same thing. Randy, you all, but yours was easier because they just take that one amount and really fast trades. And just kind of show you what it amounts to, because it's amazing. It's really amazing what compounding, how powerful it can be. Put the reading glasses here. Now, look, we're starting off with $1,000. We want to make this, anybody could do it. So you don't have to have a lot of money. $1,000, 1% a week. Only 1% a week following y'all's trades. 52 weeks in a year for 10 years. That 1,000 is going to grow to $176,650.29. Now, that's just the first 10 years. The first 15 years, after 15 years, that 1,000 is compounded into $2,347,856.51. That's the power of compounding. And that's more than any of these projections when these brokers say, save till you blue in the face, never have a life. And in 40 years, you'll have $1.5 million, which won't be worth anything. And In 20 years, that same 1,001% a week. And like a couple of weeks ago, say John and Joni did almost 10%. 10% in just 1 week. So anyhow, same 1% a week. Accounts balance grew to $31,205,326.72. So if you had that in an IRA type account, you're not paying taxes on any of that either. That's amazing. That's the power of these techniques, be it Keith's or Randy's or say John and Joni's. It's all the same, and just absolutely amazing stuff. Does that Cezanne I see now? You there, Cezanne?
Hi.
Yeah, she is. Okay. Cezanne, I had a story I want to tell you. I want both of you to be here. So Pat and I, my wife and I, were had to have dinner at Ivan's 2 days ago. And you know the golf trails that run next to all the highways, right? So we're heading one direction, and over in the road, coming from the other direction, coming toward us, except out in the middle of the road, is this golf cart with these two girls. And behind them, there's about 12 cars because they're in the middle of the road. So the cars can't get around them. They're only going 15 miles an hour. There's 12. And as we pass them, as we're going like this and we pass them, they scream. Or should we be over there? I'm thinking to myself, well, I know it's not Cezanne and Joni, but it's probably a couple of their sorority friends. A couple of their sorority sisters.
I can't. I'm losing you. You're going in and out.
Okay.
Going in and out, so I didn't hear the whole story. It may be my internet. I missed the story.
Did anybody else hear my story?
I think everyone else is good, but they're all frozen on my screen too.
Okay. Well, it was a nice story. It wasn't that bad. And, and I might add that the two of y'all, out of all the people that have come down here before, you were down here with your the Nogs. The only people I've ever known that first got picked up by the police, and then secondly had police escorts while y'all were driving the golf cart. Now, again, that's why I thought that maybe these two girls that were coming in the wrong lane, holding up 12 cars, must have been your sorority sisters. So,
okay.
Anyhow, so you're in Georgia then, Cezanne?
Yes.
Okay. Did you just hear my little story about the compounding? Power of compounding?
No, it's in and out. My internet's not very good here.
Okay. Keith, why don't you pick it up, because yours is just as powerful, and it's just a different technique. That's what's great about CSE. We've got all these various techniques, but it's all based on compounding, because that's where the power is. Go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, Joe. I head up the weekly credit spread service, and we do credit spreads, particularly the Iron Condor, which you'll probably see in the Cal reports, called the CMIC. That's a conservative midweek Iron Condor, and try to get into one of those every week. Can't do that every week just because of premiums, and we do an analysis on whether it's conservative or not, and if it isn't, if it gets too risky, we just don't trade it that week. Last week I wasn't able to get into it, and going to look to get into one this morning right after the podcast here. I also do credit spread momentum trades, and those have been a little bit difficult to get in at the moment, but still keep looking at that. And as always, for the many years I've run the service, we're always evaluating new approaches for that. And I'm evaluating a couple different ways to get better, more conservative returns on the CSM trade now. So.
Yeah, and so when you're going into those, unlike Cezanne and Joni's momentum trade or trade moment, micro moment trading.
Yep.
Where they're in and out real quick. Yours are longer. Yours requires more money on the front end, but it's a different technique, and it was because over the course of a month, I mean, we're saying 1% a week. If you average that, you're going to have those incredible compounded numbers. You're not doing something every day like they are, but you have your monthly returns probably way exceed their 1% a week, because that would only be 4% a month.
Yeah. I think I'm up about 35% so far this year on my CSM trades, and I haven't done many of them, but they've all been very good this year. And Yep, they're different. I'm usually in them probably for a half a day to 3 days. So somewhere in that time frame is how long I'm in those trades. The CMIC trade, I try to be in, like get in Thursday morning, try to be out either Thursday afternoon or Friday afternoon. And assuming I can get all the numbers to make sense and be a good trade, I expect to get into one of those this morning, particularly with the pullback in the market today.
Yeah, there you go. So the compounding effect is just as, because you're just giving the raw returns. You're not giving a compounded.
Correct.
And then we go to Randy. If Randy was here, his is another different set of techniques. Now we want to get down to the incredible client we always have here with us, John. And John, which technique do you primarily use? I think you use a couple of different ones.
Well, I do micro moment and also some momentum. Sometimes I'm in for 2 or 3 or 4 days, but not all the time. I only do about probably 20% of my trades with those, about 80% micro moment. But I try to make 7, 8, 9% on whichever I can get, if it works. But it's been rather difficult this last couple of weeks trying to get into something. My results were much better 2, 3, 4 weeks ago. So I haven't done anything closed this week.
Well, I know, but really, at the end of the day, what does that mean? I mean, you make much more than 1% a day. You know,
Sure.
1% a trade, and I'm saying to make those numbers work on compound, you have to do 1% a week.
Right.
52 weeks out of the year, and of course that just keeps compounding. And I might add, when the girls, say Joni, Keith, Randy, send out these trades, you get them instantly on your trading screen. You also get them on your smartphone, and they tell you what they're getting ready to do. They tell you when they enter the trade, and they tell you when they exit the trade. And so you can just follow right along those real trades. And you can follow them. You don't have to. And you also, in the process, learn how to use our proprietary charting that facilitates all this stuff. You learn how to do that. And eventually you can be able to do it on your own. But without they only trade QQQs and says on Joe trade QQQs and Apple. And I think John's got a more diverse. You trade a few more than that, right? Different companies.
Mainly just as they do, the Qs and Apple, probably 95% of the time. It's just I like the close bid-ask spread, and it makes it easier to start being profitable right away.
Yeah. So, okay. Oh, if you want to go to our website, compoundstockearnings.com, you can get our cow report for free. Sign up for it. You'll start getting it tomorrow. It's been published almost 20 years now. By the end of the year, it'll be 20 years. And it's got all kinds of emails in there from our clients explaining how they're doing, asking questions. If you really want to find out what CSE is all about, sign up for that. It doesn't cost anything. And compoundstockearnings.com, and sign up for the cow report. You can also find out about all the other techniques and our schedule of our seminars and all of that stuff is all on the website. And if you ever have any questions, just call. I tell people all the time, call. Nobody ever calls me, even when I try to call. Let me give you my phone number again. I always give this when I do the 2 days. It would help if I knew what my phone number was. I always have to look it up. It's 817-739-8989. 817-739-8989. Call that, and only call during market hours. And I'll talk to you and resolve things. I usually give that out when I do a 2-day seminar, and I'd be surprised no more people call. I guess I'm so good on the 2-day seminar, they understand it so perfectly. They don't need to ask any questions. Is that what you're thinking about that, Joni? Probably so. Yeah. Joni ever even masters cutting her mic on and off.
Well, I know, because I would get in trouble because I laugh and then my face shows, because you say things that make me laugh, and so I'm just trying to keep things calm over here.
Okay. Dirk, do you have anything to say? You put your blob on there? Dirk's being blob like Marcus today.
No, Joe, I think you've covered everything. I've just checked the emails, and I don't see anything in the inbox right now. Okay,
very good. Well, does anybody else have anything else you want to talk about? No?
Just a long Memorial Day weekend coming up, so
yeah, Monday's a holiday, right?
right.
Monday's a marked holiday, yeah, so it will be trading.
Yeah, Joe, I was going to say that with Memorial Day too. Like to thank all those families who have a loved one that they lost in fighting for this country, and like to salute them and thank you so much for the sacrifice that they made for this country.
Absolutely, that's a very good point to make. Sure is. Okay, if nobody has anything else, we'll call it a day. And y'all have, well, we'll see tomorrow. We'll talk tomorrow.
Okay. Have a great week, everybody, and a good weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.